Yeah, it should be all shit right now.
You think so?
Yeah.
There we go.
So, so what you
Um.
got up here? I see you got
So
Gucci
I mean, so
Man.
we'll go right. We'll go. I mean, we'll stay. Well, I want to add a little bit more to that, but I guess we still
I
have some.
see you, Brandon. Kind of acknowledge my people. See, some of these people got to acknowledge them. How y'all doing out there, Danielle, Brandon, Scheme of Adversary, Brandon. Good job, brother. Amen. Thank you, Brandon. Robert Allen. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate we appreciate all the gifts and the love. Subscribe to our YouTube page. God bless the real. Go to the Life Coach CW page. YouTube page, channel. Also, go to
Created by
createdbyqueen.com
Queen.
and get you some luxurious, healthy, all natural body care products. Y'all see me
Natural luxury
glowing.
skincare.
Don't be hating on me. My man said he think I like I'm sleepy. I'm just glowing so good. I'm putting you to sleep.
Ah!
God abundance work. Amen. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for this comment. Sunshine, thank you for the gifts. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Press follow us. Hey, anyway.
So, um, so
Come on.
you was talking about the 90 Days of Evil, but you skipped the energy of Halloween. But that's the only thing that I wanted to just add into that.
The energy of Halloween.
Just the whole premise of Halloween. You know you brought up Thanksgiving and that energy, but when you know the core structure of Halloween, why are we celebrating that? That's all.
I mean, once again, at this point, we the my people have sought to say, well, we celebrate it for the kids, but at the end of the day, grown people is going to Halloween parties and dressing up and becoming somebody else and dressing up, acting like they're someone else other than themselves. That's a disgrace within its own right. Much longer disgrace is you putting your child in some type of costume, saying you something for the day. You this particular whatever cartoon character, whatever figure for the day. You know. That is a low energy. You're not putting anything of godly essence on your child. You're not putting anything of uplifting on your child. So you shouldn't be putting anything of mere mortal man on your child, period. At all. Zero. But that's a low energy. Once again, that's a low energy, and that's an energy of deception to your own child. That's an energy of lying to your child. That's an energy of guiding your child astray. That's not a godly energy. That's not an upliftment energy. That's not an energy of betterment for self. That's not an energy for doing for self. Though, so Halloween has nothing to do with the betterment of man or God.
So what do we have? Well, I guess we could start with Trump say America is doing great.
What you think? Is America doing great? They say Trump say, MAGA say America doing great. We the hottest country. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Halloween is definitely a pagan origin. I do agree. Halloween is definitely pagan origin. Subscribe, like our page, follow us on at God Bless the Real on YouTube at our YouTube channel.
I would say that
hell no, America not doing good.
Yeah, I would say that the American people are just
beat around the bush with it. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The American people is what? Go ahead. I'm just saying. I'm just jumping in too.
We're just not in the, we're just not in a good place financially. We're not in a good place mentally. We're not in a good place as being united. I don't think none of that is in a great standing.
And I just think I don't put up my all into man. I know when it comes to the American politics, you have to choose from the lesser evil. Both, no matter who running for president, both people that I believe, whoever running for president, I believe it's never going to be really about the people. Hopefully you can get something out of the president. I think the American people and the original people, the black man and woman here on these shores, do not lobby enough for our causes, but but do lobby enough just for us to get something that we believe that it might help us with MAGA or with Trump. Um, uh, some of the things that he said he was going to do, he has fulfilled his promise on. Not exactly how might have seemed. I thought it might be in my mind, but he have fulfilled those promises. And when you got to clean up, and when you have to drain the swamp, it's not easy. It's gonna be ugly. People think things are gonna be kumbaya when it's time to clean up something like America, or clean up the American ghettos, to clean up the urban communities, or clean up anything.
Right.
It's not gonna look. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna look good. Immigration is don't. Sending people back to their country is not going to look good. It's not going to be easy.
Even fixing the budget, even if you think about your budget in your household, sometimes in order to get your budget on track and just get in a good financial state, sometimes you could be in the negative for a month or two.
Oh,
and then you could see progress. So as far as us doing great, I don't really see it, but I do understand I can understand the process.
I don't like the fact that he blustered that we doing great, as if though he have something have occurred with the American people, low interest rates, or we have been given no interest loans to invest in businesses or property or land. The American people haven't received anything. If anything, the American people continue to get beat down by this administration to some extent. Whether it's talking about invading the cities, or talking down on a governor or a mayor, or basically telling the American people, taking whatever you could take away from the American people, we taking it away from them. So some regards, some of this stuff needs to be taken away, and we need to start over to some extent. So I agree with that. But still, it don't look good, don't sound good, but
it don't feel good.
It don't feel good, but that's just the nature of the beast. All in all, I still don't believe that it still is yet to be seen that America is doing good. America is doing great. Yeah, the rich is doing good. The rich is doing great. The rich is benefiting, but the American people, the average American, is not doing great. Period. At all, zero. That's my position on it. Mr. MAGA.
Yeah.
I see you got Gucci Mane up here and Keisha Dior. That was your thing on the Breakfast Club. I really don't follow the Breakfast Club like that. So anybody that really go to the Breakfast Club, for me, I really don't never really watch it, because I don't respect, the Breakfast Club. I don't respect Charlemagne, the God. I don't respect anyone that call themselves the God and don't care of themselves in such a manner, aspire to such a name, the God. If you're not aspiring to that end, then you can't have your name to be Charlemagne the God, and you're not for your people. You're not standing in the truth. You're not standing in the path of God. You're not standing in the upliftment of people. You're not correcting the record, no matter who it is, where it's at. So I always had a gripe with that, but I just had a gripe with overall the whole Breakfast Club mentality of their people. So I don't watch it. That's why I really don't watch it. They haven't done anything, I feel, to uplift our communities, uplift the black man and woman. Anytime they continually, they'll come on, they'll bring the Jewish man, not the Jewish man on there, and talk to him just as nice, and respect him, and honorable questions, and respect his community, and respect his people, and ensure that they don't say anything disrespectful. For you get on there and get on there and call one of my forefathers out, or one of the leading people, one of the leading black men in the hip hop community, one of the forerunners, Dame Dash, they get on there and disrespect him and talk foul to him and talk down to him. I don't respect nothing like that. Never talk down on my people in the public, or try to disrespect, or try to make them look bad in no type of way. I have a gripe with that. So that's why I just can't, watch it, or when I do catch it.
But it was the Gucci Mane and Keisha Dior interview was I believe it was a good interview. As I told you, I had saw it a few times come down my my timeline on YouTube, and and I pass it up because I'm just not invested in people's relationships. But I did decide to watch it, and I'm glad I did. I'm proud that Gucci Mane share his journey with mental illness, writing the book episodes. Um, like I told you, Life Coach CW, I really do think that is a good interview for you to watch. Um, just to see the I guess the progression of how he navigated with this mental illness, and it seemed like it took him a while to get to where he is, and just through like certain circumstances. And I guess I couldn't imagine um having I couldn't imagine how he navigated through prison with that, which obviously a lot of people are. I am related to one, but not diagnosed. That's the thing. If not being diagnosed with the mental illness, but it was nice seeing how, because I didn't know, or most people didn't know that he has he is a schizophrenic, and I think what the public saw was just when he came home from prison, you know, he married Keisha, and she got him, got his body right, put him on that was the word. He put him on a diet, and got his teeth fixed and just cleaned them up, and he started dressing better, looking better. But really behind the scenes, she was really helping him along this journey of his whole health journey, just to get him healthy mentally was something to see, and still, I'm sure it's still a process. So I thought it was a good interview.
All right. I guess, how does that help you? What does that help? What does you gave me that about what you thought of the interview, but as far as with you, how does it correlate with you, and what does it have to do with you and your life and your plight? I guess that's what I meant with it.
I guess I could relate. I could relate to her. Not saying that I live with somebody that's a schizophrenic, but I live with a person that was incarcerated for 20 years, and some of the things that that he shared that he did, like sometimes he would just go off and not remember, and just go off. Oh. So I related to her because she talked about just being calm and just approaching things in a calm manner. And so that's how I relate. I feel like it went all y'all. Hold on, y'all. YouTube. What is the no? Okay. Did we lose everybody or no? Maybe not.
No, we lost nobody.
Oh, so that's I guess that is how I relate.
I guess I lost cycles and went off. So
you asked me how did that interview, how can I relate to the interview? Mm-hmm. And I said I can relate because although I don't live with a person that suffers from that's a schizophrenic, I do live with somebody that was in prison for 20 years. And just knowing how to really to not only handle myself, But how do you, when we are, when we do have a heated debate, the way she described like how she know how to talk to him calmly, and she said she have different systems. I really don't have that issue, but I do know being calm and level headed, and patient, has gotten us a long way. I also know that not being calm and level headed can result in some could result in somebody losing their life. Most likely, the woman, and again, I say that to say I know somebody that has done that. So I do understand and realize the importance of her role in the relationship, and like I said, I thought it was a good thing for him. I think it was a good thing for him to share his story. It's a good thing for people to talk about, even if the mental health isn't being on the spectrum of being a schizophrenic. It's still the conversation of mental health and the conversation of especially when in the importance of being in a relationship with somebody who can help you navigate life.
I got you. Perfect neighbor. What is the perfect neighbor? I don't know what's going on. The perfect neighbor.
So, The Perfect Neighbor is a documentary I just happened across. I was like you. I was like, first of all, I like documentaries. And I was like, I don't know what this is about, The Perfect Neighbor. Well, I'm not sure if you remember about the story of the Black woman who knocked on her neighbor's door and she shot her through the door. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? So that's what The Perfect Neighbor documentary was about. A.J. Owens, G.K. Owens. But what was so fascinating about the documentary, the whole documentary was body cam. Like the entire documentary. Either it was body cam or it was like the interrogation room. So it wasn't like people being interviewed. So that was I thought that was although it was a very sad watch, it was a hard watch because it really dealt with the kids in the neighborhood. It was interesting to see it was just interesting to see like this really happening in real time, like not a recount or we recanted this incident like this was like a live in action, and that was interesting to see.
Let's see here. How y'all doing out there? Life Coach CW and the Queen is here. Thanks for the badges. Thanks for the gifts. We appreciate y'all today, man. Thanks for the love too. I see we got 10 loves out there. How about y'all subscribe to our YouTube page right now? Go to it right now. Life, God Bless the Real YouTube page right now. YouTube channel. Go to it right now. Subscribe. We need a bunch of. I need y'all. We need a bunch of subscribers because we're trying to get our numbers up. We see can get our numbers up, and we see to bring out some more content, better content. All that is constant work. I want to say, I think I guess I want to pose this correctly. I think the new generation of white America is not educated on their own forefathers' history of how they did other ethnicity groups over here in America. I don't think the new generation of white young kids understand the savagery that their forefathers laid down on the black and brown and Mexican people over here in America that was already here when they came before your forefathers or their forefathers came over here to America. Um, so I think a lot of stuff that they hear about with the Palestinian peoples and what's going on in Gaza and things of that nature. My point is stating is that you all act shocked that these things is going on, that they killing, that they unaliving kids and women and families and taking land. Your own forefathers just did that to the black and brown people over here in America. They did the same exact thing, and that's why we haven't regrouped yet. And your forefathers came and stole our land, stole our economic system, stole our banks, stole all our great inventions and ideas. Research your own history. This happened, and just like it's happening over in Palestine right now, your forefathers already did it to my forefathers already, to my ancestors. So this already happened. So we are the gods of people. We are the gods and the Hamas and the Palestinian people right over here in America that has been overlooked and continues to be overlooked and done wrong. Example, what's going on in the urban communities right now with the government sending in the National Guard and the Army and the ICE to bring some type of order to these communities that the government has overlooked and sought to outcast out of society. So I'm asking that white America, the average white Americans, the new generations, the last 3-4 generations, do some history lesson on your forefathers, man, and learn what your forefathers did to my people. And I'm not looking for you to say, hey, we looking for some type of big event to occur, but we are looking for our 40 acres in our mirror. We still looking for what we got coming.
I guess I think when you say forefathers, I think I gather a lot of people just assume this was like so long ago. But my mother grew up in Arkansas. My mother was born in the 40s, and it was still, whites only water fountains. So when you think about that, like, it's not that long ago.
Period.
I mean, it's really not. My mother's grandfather was a sharecropper. It was not that long ago.
But even though we bring it up today, even though we just bring it up and forget about all, we can still say forget about all of that. But we could look at just the incarceration, the mass incarceration of black people of the new Jim Crow. Go read the book by Michelle Alexander, The New Jim Crow. So she give you the understanding on the old Jim Crow. She correlates the old Jim Crow with the new Jim Crow with the mass incarceration of the black, or the darker man, the brown man, and the Spanish and the Mexican man over here in America up under the new Jim Crow. So these things are being done right now at this moment. So we only have to we don't have to talk about way back then. If you don't want to talk about that, you don't want to talk about J. Edgar Hoover and COINTELPRO. You don't want to talk about the Marcus Garvey movie. You don't want to talk about none of that. You don't want to talk about when all these things occurred and how they treated us and how they robbed us blindly and how these communities are evident of their thievery and their robbery, how they have shut down a bunch of businesses and corporations in the urban black communities. You go into these communities, you'll see these warehouses and these empty buildings that's just vacant, been vacant forever. The Reagan era, up under the first Bush era, up under the two Clinton era, up under the second Bush 2 eras, up under the Barack Obama two presidency era, even up under right now the MAGA era. These communities haven't changed. I was gone 20 years. I was gone 20 years from off the west side of Chicago, and the west side of Chicago is worse off than it was before I left, and we thought it was worse off then. So and some of the same politicians are still in play. Been in play for the last 40, 50 years. 35 years, and So when you have these same politicians in play that have, as we call them, gatekeepers in these days and times, and haven't advanced the people, then you're not for God. If you're not for the people, you're not for God. It's just the fact.
And the betterment of men.
Yeah, if you're not for the betterment of the mankind, if you're not for the upliftment of the people, if you're not for love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, and equality, the highest principles known to man, to advance man, then you shouldn't be in it. You shouldn't have this power.
Or keep it.
Or keep it.
You shouldn't be allowed to keep it if nothing has changed for the better. Because even if things stay the same, that's still a negative. Because if it's not advancing and changing for the better, and you say, and if Life Coach CW could say, well, I went to prison for 20 years and I came home and it all looked the same. Well, that shame on the people running the city.
What is JBP? Mark, what you got there?
So that's another. The JBP is a JBP, if you know what JBP is. So Mark Lamont Hill, I want to talk to you about this. Mark Lamont Hill and Queen's Flip had a heated debate. It's been all over my timeline. So heated debate on their pod where it appeared, hey, they was ready to take it outside. Take it to the streets, literally. So
about what we got going on? I'm not.
Yeah. So I mean, in a nutshell, these two podcasters got into a heated debate. One said something to the other, he didn't like it, and they were. Do you know who Mark Hill is? Yeah, he the. He
got fired from CNN.
Huh?
He got fired from CNN.
Right. And he's been on a lot of different networks as a commentator. But so he is the one who got upset and was really like, we could do this. So that right there, he was out of character. And that was, I guess it just caused a big uproar on the socials. But that made me think of you on it really tailspin. It veered off onto several different conversations. But that made me think of you with how did you handle conflict while you were incarcerated? How did you handle conflict? Like, say if somebody said something that you didn't like, was there a period? Do you know how to stay calm and level-headed? Or did you know how to stay calm and level-headed? Or could somebody push you to the limit? How did you handle yourself? Or did you have phases?
Well, obviously 20 years I made it. I've not hurt. I didn't come out hurt or nothing. My track record speaks for itself. Men see me in society right now, or on wherever they see me at, they know who I am. They know my name. My name, to some extent, is good. Men greet me in the best of manners as I greet them. So what that within itself is telling, without one having to say, me personally have to speak on, how I conduct myself in prison. It's like one asking, who is, one saying, that like in hip hop, they used to say, a rapper used to say, I'm the best rapper alive. And then they'd be like, well, how you call yourself the best rapper alive? The people have to take you the best rapper alive. You can't call yourself the best rapper alive. So that's the same thing with the prison journey of the plight. I can tell you that way. I can say, yeah, I was in there, this type of person. But ultimately, the men I was around would have to give you more insight on the type of person I was and how I handled things when how I handled myself in that environment. Obviously, if I'm still dealing with a lot of men from prison, and men see me and men come home from prison in society and deal with me, then I had to handle myself to some extent very well. As far as the journey, um, I think it's harder in society to deal with conflict than in prison, because in prison, men is bound by a lot of codes and ethics, and there's a lot of other people that you have that's held that you're accountable for if you make a rash decision, or if you jump out there in your emotions and things of that nature, which a lot of men do jump out there in their emotions. Um, Me, I was more so of a always in leadership position, up under growth and development. So we're having leadership position, or with giving that type of power in prison or federal prison by the governing board, or men or the OGs who have their juice to give these positions out. Um, you have to definitely have to know. You definitely have to control your emotions. Your better be in solitary special housing unit, the SHU, or the hole as they call it, every prison you go to. You won't be getting into society if you get known as being one who operate off emotions. You would not do your time well in federal prison. Like, I don't know about state prison, but men who jump out there and act irrationally always pay a penalty. Either you're gonna get killed, stabbed up, or you're gonna do your time in the hole, or you're gonna they're gonna find a prison where there's just a lot of predominantly child molesters, and as they call them, chomos, and sexual offenders. They're gonna put you in there with them, and that's what winds up happening. As far as me, that I control my emotions, I handle my emotions well, because I was up under the growth and development community. So when you're up under a certain community or organization, then you held accountable to those laws and policies that's laid down within that organization. That's the good thing about the organization, or being part of an organization, that you bound by law. No different than you bound by law, the government. You bound by law. You break this law, then hey, you want to do your time, or whatever the case might be. So yeah. But I think in society it's more because we're not bound by nothing. We don't really have anybody to really check us. If we not in the path of the Most High, if we're not in prayer, if we're not in constant prayer, we're not surrounding ourselves with others who's in constant prayer, or in the path of the Most High, or in the path of seeking out the best, then it's easy to find yourself in your emotional bag quicker than working on your emotional bag. Working on it and getting in is two different things. You could get in and act out, and then be like, man, or you can understand where you're going with it and begin to control and navigate it better. I think that's what I have sought to work on. The incidents that I have come in contact with in society, I have sought to better myself every time I as I call it, confront an energy that's low.
Well, I guess speaking of the federal,
what did Lamar he talk about? What were they briefing about? That's why I guess you didn't ever say.
So the beef, he was being called a sucker.
Oh, okay.
And that was just
a sucker about what? What they were saying?
Whatever the conversation.
Queen's Flip was calling
Queen's Flip. Yeah, Queen's Flip was saying, like, basically he was saying, like, you acting like a sucker. But Mark was saying, like, stop calling me a sucker. And it just really escalated.
So he was acting like a sucker. Why? What was going on?
Just whatever they was talking about. I guess how he handled himself in a certain situation.
Oh, so you're not aware of what he was doing. You wasn't able to.
Yeah, I mean.
He was acting like a sucker. Yeah, he wasn't acting like a sucker.
I mean, he was just.
Flip was tripping.
He was just. I mean, it was just Queen's Flip. I guess his feelings on how he was acting, towards him and like the situation. It was really like some personal stuff. It was the word was used loosely, but it means something different to Mark. He right. On a different show, on another later on, he explain, like a sucker in Philly, I think, is like equivalent to being called a man being called a B word. Type thing.
I agree.
And you know, if that ain't your if that's not your, if you're not aware, you know, you just thinking, you know, hey, you a sucker. I mean, like where we come from, like somebody calling, you know, when I grew up,
Vic, like
or
called Vic,
or a Mark. My brother called somebody a Mark. He man, listen, he could punch you in your mouth right after calling you a Mark. You Mark, you know. So, I mean, that's where it stemmed from. But I mean, again, like that whole conversation grew tentacles, and you could go all different ways. But I thought about you on how you handled conflict. Or just for you sharing with the people how you handle conflict, being in federal prison for 20 years. But speaking of federal prison, there was an inmate shot and killed on October 10th. He was in the he was in Coleman.
Coleman 1.
Yeah.
Penitentiary, USP.
Yeah, he was in USP Coleman. And from what I have gathered, the feds haven't made a statement, but his family is without a doubt distraught. He was sentenced 15 years. And, you know, you just don't expect something like this to happen to your loved one in custody. Why he is, you don't expect it to happen to your loved one ever. I would just say that, but not while away.
Well, it's definitely a I would call this a Epstein moment. This might be bigger than Epstein. This case, well, and what I mean by Epstein, Epstein supposed to have hung himself in federal hold and lockup, basically in the hold or in SHU or special housing unit. That's where he was at, and he supposed to hung himself in his cell, but he supposed to commit suicide in his cell. But where he was at, there ain't no way he could possibly have hung himself. It just didn't happen. I'm sorry to tell y'all this. I'm sorry to tell the federal government this. The federal government who has locked up, you know, over 100,000, over 250,000 black men in this country, for them to cite to the public that this man committed suicide at that facility. They are lying to the public, and men from federal prison that's been in federal prison, that's been to that facility, know they are lying to the public. And the public should at least listen. If nothing else, they should listen to the man that's been in federal prison to be able to evaluate and give insight that this just didn't happen. You know, it couldn't have happened. You know, if this where you reside and this is what men that was in federal prison resided there, and they telling us that this just can happen. So this situation of this guy being shot in federal prison in USP Coleman with a gun. Okay, they saying that they had a gun in the prison on the compound. It's probably, I don't, this once again, this is the Epstein moment. It's probably the first time ever this case this has ever happened. Besides when they saying allegedly that the Black Panthers came and broke and shot and came into the federal prison and broke somebody out, whoever that was. I don't know, that it was a story. I don't know how true this story is, but for this man to be shot in USP, we're talking about a United States penitentiary where you get searched. Everybody gets searched, from the officers, everybody gets searched. You know, so this is a high security, maximum security, high level security federal prison. So this is not no lax place where it's like a camp, a Snoopy prison, Snoopy camp, where, you know, people coming and going and it's just a lot going on, and potentially could be guns on the compound or whatever on the compound, on the prison, in the prison facility. It's an Epstein moment. For them, somebody purposely brought that gun in to kill that man. Somebody purposely had, it's not supposed to be any guns on the compound, period. So, and for the BOP and for the news not to be asking questions, for Congress not to be bringing the head of the BOP to Congress to ask to be questioned about this, this is outrageous to some regard, because if you go to prison, you be telling me they're bringing guns to prison now and killing people, then hey, what's the reason? What's the point of locking people up? If you're gonna go in there and kill them, so you cheating all the way around the board, government. So I don't know what was the importance of this guy and why this particular shooting happened. It's limited information on this shooting. It hasn't been, the BOP haven't given a statement on it. I think the family has hired a lawyer to investigate the matter. I think the American people need to investigate this matter because hey, we have people in prison, as they say, as the King said, as the MLK said, as Martin Luther the King said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So if you thinking, because it ain't your people, it didn't happen to you, if it happened to one person, if that happened in the United States Penitentiary, listen here, I'm here to tell you, your people's in danger. That's sitting in federal prison. If that happened in Coleman, USP, everybody else is in danger.
Speaking of people in prison, you have Lil Durk on the board.
When that drill rapper's dead, I was talking about drill rappers. You was being dead. Lil Durk dead. The peace deal dead. All this stuff is dead. All this stuff is just illusions and fake.
Smoking mirrors.
Drill rappers dead, but they NBA YoungBoy and everybody that's part of drill rap trying to get their last run on it. So, but the fact of the matter is, the people that's part of drill rap, the fans in these different cities is seeking to beef with these drill rappers that's left and don't want these drill rappers to perform in their town, their city, because they got some type of issue with them or whatever. The fact of the matter is, hey, it was drill rap. Y'all lived it. Some people won, some people took losses, some people took wins. All in all, we all took L's. Everybody that was part of drill rap, all of us, including me. My community, our people, all of us took L's when it came to this drill rapping. But right now it's dying out. So hey, everybody should be getting money. Whoever part of this drill rap, you should be seeking to get your last few little
cash out.
Yeah, cash out on it.
Because like you said, everybody took a loss. You either end up dead or in prison.
And Lil Durk dead. Lil Durk changed his name to Mustafa. Lil Durk cannot capitalize off the name Lil Durk anymore. So Lil Durk is dead. When I say Lil Durk is dead, I'm talking about the name. Lil Durk is dead. Mustafa is alive and thriving. Mustafa is in the path of the Most High. Mustafa is praying 5 times a day. Mustafa is seeking to better his health. Mustafa is seeking to write better music. Mustafa is seeking to, uplift the people. Mustafa is seeking peace. Mustafa is seeking the path of the Most High at all given times. So let's understand who we're talking about. So when people thinking that, where these rappers is left out here siding, or not showing love to oh yeah. Like I think they said, King Von's sister, tweeted out, y'all over there with NBA and them and these other drill rapper dudes stay on their side because, when Durk get out, y'all chose y'all sides. Now Durk back out and it's all, and we back at it. Y'all not gonna be back at it, Durk is Islam now. He's a Muslim now. Y'all have to understand this. And if you following Durk, then like I told the men, if we following Mr. Larry Hoover, then you following the path of the Most High because Mr. Larry Hoover is a Muslim now. So you following the path of the Most High. You should have always been following the path of the Most High. But yet seeking to implement laws and policies and the betterment of your people right here on earth. So Mustafa is alive and Lil Durk is dead. So check yourselves when you talk about Mr. Dirk Banks, the Muslim. Name is now Mustafa. Um, what you think about ICE? What you been hearing about ICE and the raids? What you thinking about that? They've been going hard now.
They definitely been going hard. I guess how I am right now, I'm a bit silent about it. They have been going hard. For those who voted to close up our borders, is this what was expected? Again, what do cleanup look like? Hey, it don't always look pretty. And another, I guess the other part of that is what for me, what I really don't have much to say. When I went to the George Floyd marches and stuff, and I saw a plethora of white people, but I didn't see like a lot of Mexicans. When Sandra Bland and we went through a whole. It felt a short amount of time, like years of like deaths on top of deaths on top of deaths. Sandra Bland, cause I always get his name wrong. Castillo. Yeah. Fidel.
Fidel Castillo.
Yeah. Again, we have been in fights by ourselves, so it's just it's a tender topic, because when you are people that care for people, you do just want to innately care for all. But sometimes when it's not your fight, what I don't know what to say.
I do say once. I say what initially it was said. I think it just got out of hand. I think the Democratic Party allowed this to get out of hand. I think not just Democratic Party. I just think all these politicians, period, together allowed it to get out of hand. All of them sharing it. The Democratic Party, the Republican Party, all of them sharing alike. Everybody have blood on their hands. Everybody have dirt on their hands. Nobody free here. Nobody in here. Nobody up. And none of these politicians is free from what America finds itself at right now, especially these career politicians. As far as the immigrants haven't showed love. They side with the immigrants when they come over here. They side with white America. They want to be white when they come here. They don't side with black America. They don't side with us, period. They don't side with us on anything. They haven't sided with us. They haven't stood with us in no causes. They haven't fought with us, even though we have been treated the exact same. Even in federal prison, they don't side with us and they don't support us. So that's how it is, and that's how it remains. So hey, it's always our turn. It's still our turn right now with the situation was going with the immigrants. The black man and woman is still paying a penalty in this situation. So we still catching hell as well. So don't act as if though we're not catching hell, because we are catching hell in this situation. The black man and woman are, and the Mexican man, the Spanish man, all they come to our communities once again, hustle, get money. They don't respect us. They don't treat us accordingly. They don't want to build with us. And that's just what we've been at with it. It's immigration. Is it ugly? Yeah, it's ugly. Of course, it's gonna be ugly. We have a lot of people over here that's not documented, that don't supposed to be over here, or haven't came by the route that's established, that the American government have established for them to come over here and live. No different when I go somewhere. I have to go get my visa. I have to do this and do that and go by the right ways of going into these countries. It's the same exact thing over here, So is it ugly or whatever? Yeah, it's ugly. I mean, my community ugly. The black on black crime is ugly. All these guns in my community is ugly. And when they took all the factories and all the jobs out of my communities, it was ugly. When it was just all cracking guns, and it's ugly. Right now, it's my community. Right now, these communities is ugly, still ugly. So, I don't, always kumbaya. We be feeling some way about somebody else, and always somebody else, peoples and stuff. And what's going on with the Palestinian people? What's going on with the black man and woman over here in America? How about that? Haven't nothing changed yet with the black man and woman. You y'all
right,
new generation running around here talking about.
Incarcerated. We still guns is in our community. We still lack education. We still lack resources and funds and different programs that are needed in our community.
Having none of this change. So yeah, get the immigrants out. However you got to get them out. Hey, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be sad or whatever. Who cares? I'm still sad about the way my community is. I'm still sad how the forefathers treated my forefathers. I'm still mad and sad about how they just mass incarcerated me and put me in federal prison for 20 years for a small amount of crack cocaine. Yeah. I'm still sad that I went and did 20 years. They put me back to society without any type of psychiatric or we gonna check in on Charles, see how he doing, and make sure he's straight. I'm still sad that I had to do all this.
Set you up with anything when you first was released.
Right. So I had to do all this all on my own wheel. So no, I don't have no no, I don't have no. Oh, they doing the peoples like this. I mean, I am going to state for the record, as I have been saying, I don't agree with them sending nobody to prison. Now, I don't think they should be sending the men to prison. I think they should be sending them back to their country, dropping them back in their communities, or busting them back to wherever they came from, no different than they did over here when they came to America. I don't think they should be going to no freaking prison. Now, unless they have broken the crime, when you taking them out of the American prison and putting them into the Venezuela prison, wherever prison it is, the CEOT prison, I think that's the name of the centric whatever prison it is, but I don't agree with putting them in prison at all.
Yeah.
But do I agree that they need to go? Yeah. Do I think the American government should invest in the urban black communities and black and brown communities? Yes. Do I think the American people deserve a stipend? Yes. Do I think the American people deserve better from the American government? Yes. So keeping their foot on our necks, it's not going to get nobody nowhere. I can tell you, y'all, they should know that right now. The motor industry, the car industry, saying that they have backed up vehicles that they can't even sell. Because why the American people don't have no money to go out here and buy these cars and do these things no more. So only the fake rich running around here harboring all the wealth, trying to live good, and then looking down on the average people. That's not going to get you nowhere. But hey, y'all think it's going to get you somewhere. We still where we at, basically where the stalemate.
Yeah, I think we are at the stalemate. But I guess back to where we started, America being great, Yeah. We are definitely at a, we at a stalemate.
Talking about make America great again.
Or saying America is doing great.
Oh, America is doing great again already. No, America not. Let's just be clear. We talking about buying beef from Argentina. So, just let's make sense. But the peace deal going, they said the peace deal going on, Netanyahu, supposed did the peace deal with Trump, but right now Netanyahu and the Israel government going against the peace deal that Trump laid down, and Trump has put it on the record that Israel will soon be losing the United States backing if it break this peace deal. This is breaking news, and this is something that I've never thought was be said by a United States president since Kennedy. So since JFK, so he has admitted that they think this is they have warned Israel. I don't see that one on here. They have warned Israel, or the vice president has warned Israel that they should think better than what they're doing. They're not going to annex the West Bank. They're not going to kill off all the Palestinians and take over. They're just not going to do that. America just said they're not going to allow them to do that. But the peace deal always been a fraudulent deal. The Israel government was never seeking to fully support the American government or President Donald Trump on that deal. So that's just always been bull crap. I'm at the point where, hey man, all this game banging they doing, hey, you might go stay, you might go stay GD, Vice Lord, whatever you is. They don't need you trying to be a great American citizen around here. I'm about to hit you with the most likes ever. I got the Auto clip.
Who is that? That's Young Liddy.
Young Liddy's somebody with the most likes ever, man. I got the auto click.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard that one, man. Funny stuff there, man. Young Liddy, boy, you lit for that one, man. I gotta give you that one, boy. You got me on that one. Follow us on at God Bless the Real YouTube channel, man, and go to createdbyqueen.com and get you some body butter. You see my skin? We got shaving cream now. We have
actually let's start
y'all
something.
see me right here.
You just inspired a thought in me, Young Liddy.
Liddy, you lit for that one,
so,
boy.
we gonna pick the best comment of each live, and Young Liddy, you won
you
for
was
today.
Lit for that one, baby.
Go to Life Coach CW's messenger him your information, and we'll send you a product.
Free product, baby. And definitely leave us a comment at createdbyqueen.com. Go check out the website and get something for your wifey as well, your significant other, or just one of them, one of them beauties that you messing with out there. So what is it again? Life Coach CW or God Bless the Real, or go to Created by Queen. Yeah. Created by Queen.
And that's CWEEN.com.
Check out the site. Let us know what you think and see what you like on there. It's all natural. We in 3 different stores. This is the health profession right here. 25 years dermatology. So, and 20 years in federal prison me. So, 20 years of federal prison for me. So, I'm highly qualified in a lot of these areas. And as I said, Lil Durk is dead. And it's Mustafa. So, well, that's about it, man. We have to get out of here. We have to run. I have to get off to
the next mission for this evening.
The next mission, man. I appreciate y'all logging in.
It's been a good live, Life Coach CW.
Definitely, man. Liddy got us lit with that one, baby. I gotta get on that one, man. Go to our YouTube page, Life Coach CW. Go to I Am Queen Instagram. Where else? We everywhere. They never there.
Yeah, just check us out on God Bless the Real.
We're always dropping new videos. I'm always seeking to drop some every other day. So just stay with us. Keep working with us. Keep subscribing, liking, loving. Just keep showing some love. And always, God will always bless the real. If you show some love, God always going to bless you back. That's just how it goes. This is part of the game, man. Oh. Stage 4. What that is? A 120. Got a lot more to go. 15 comments. 1.2K. Live impressions. I don't know what that is. 1.2K live impression. 409 views. 3 new followers. There you have it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Auntie Kim died. That's why he was calling me.
Turn the YouTube on.
Oh, YouTube. I'm turning it off. I don't know for the mail.